All right, hi everyone. In this video, I want to talk about how we can construct data frames from scratch in the tidyverse using constructing tibbles. So in the past, we have constructed these from scratch using a function called tribble, which is part of the tribble package, which is in the tidyverse. So you would need to first load the tidyverse, or at least the tribble package, to get access to that function. And so, yeah, we've been working with very large data frames, but here would be an example of a smaller data frame that we could create from scratch. And when you use the tribble function, you enter data column by column. So first column is X, it has 1, 2, and 5. The next column is Y, and then the next column is Z. So I can enter each column as a vector, and then it's going to put those columns next to each other to construct a data frame. It's a little bit weird to read it this way because how I actually read the information inside of the tribble function is like the transpose of the data frame that's actually constructed. So this first row over here is actually the first column of the data frame that's constructed. So that can be a little bit difficult to read. It's not that bad, but if you had a larger data frame, it can get a little bit overbearing. So another nice way of hand entering in a data frame in the tidyverse is using this function called tribble, which is a transposed tribble. So that's going to transpose the way we enter it. So the way we enter our data is going to be the same way that the data frame itself is constructed. So here we enter the information in the data frame row by row, which makes sense because that's typically how we read the data frames. First row, second row, third row, fourth row. So the first row, we can indicate the column headings by putting the tilde before each of the names. So this means that these are column headers as opposed to the first observation in the data frame. So that is going to create 3 different columns. The first one called X, the second one Y, the third one Z. And then I just enter my data row by row. And this constructs the exact same data frame as the one above. And so this just depends on how you prefer to enter the data into the tribble or the tribble function. So above is tribble. Tribble, we entered things column by column. X, first column, then Y is the second column, then Z is the third column. With the tribble function, we enter it row by row. The header row, this is the first row of observations, this is the second, and this is the third row. Okay, that's a wrap on those functions. Thank you.